Due to recent YouTube updates, comments and likes have become more important than ever. I beg you to please consider doing exactly that. I read every comment that you write me and answer whenever possible and or need. I'm also open to suggestions for future content. My videos are created without the use of AI, so please support your fellow human content creator against clanker slop. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. How did you enjoy your time in the airless void? You and the others were heaving, grunting, and Gangle was even vomiting on the floor. This couldn't even have been classified as an adventure, could it? I see. You can't even express how much you loved it. I must say, this was one of my more creative adventures. You and Jax and Pomni exchanged looks as you heaved, getting air into your screaming lungs. Everyone but Kinger, who you leered at. He just stood there, eyes looking into different directions, as if the airlessness of the void didn't affect him at all. For 3 hours, you and the rest of the circus, minus Zubul, had been dragged through the portal by Kane. Following Ragatha's suggestion for more puzzle-oriented adventures to get everyone's noggin going, as she had put it. As the name implied, the Airless Void was a seemingly infinite wide room with zero gravity. At its center floated a metal chair that was slightly rusted. There was no ground, no walls, and nothing to grab. Only white. Only the chair in the middle. Too far no matter how hard someone tried to reach it. You kicked and clawed until your muscles cramped. Each movement sent you spinning off in the wrong direction. Your body wouldn't stop tumbling. Up and down. Nothing meant here. Your lungs begged for air that wasn't there. Every time you tried to breathe, the emptiness poured in instead. Your chest burned hotter by the second. Your throat scratched like glass. There was no blackout, no mercy, just the same sharp, suffocating pain over and over again. Your vision spotted black dots crawling in from the edges, but you stayed awake, still aware, still trapped in the weightless choke. Ragatha's hands clawed uselessly at the space around her. Gangle's ribbons twisted and snapped in every direction. Jax flailed, his eyes wild, but the sound never came. Only the same open mouth gasping with nothing inside. Kinger, meanwhile, drifted quietly, arms limp, eyes rolling in different directions like the lack of air never touched him at all. And Pomni fought the hardest. Her arms thrashed, her legs kicked until her joints snapped painfully with each strike. She clawed towards the chair again and again, spinning off every time. The burn in your chest turned to knives. You tried to scream, but nothing came. Your body shook, desperate, fighting itself for one impossible breath. Pomni hurled herself one last time, her fingertips brushing the armrest of the chair. She latched on it like her life nailed to it. Her body slammed down into the seat, and then you shook your head violently to get the memory out of your head. Dizzy, you somehow managed to stand. That was fun, chuckled Kinger, and you blinked. What? Everyone looked at him with disdain. Everyone but you, on your mind, was but a single thought. Where is Zubul? She had dodged this adventure somehow. Dodged the torture. And you were furious. You were so mad your glass eye cracked from rage,
splitting your view like a kaleidoscope. Inside the digital circus, you had become Slipper, a humanoid glass figure. Translucent and beautiful, and surprisingly enough, your skin itself actually felt like actual skin, though it was still prone to shattering. As a human outside the circus, you always had trouble controlling your emotions, and so being given such a fragile body inside the digital world felt like a cruel joke. You were about to storm off when a yellow-gloved hand gripped your shoulder. His voice almost a gurgle.
As much as I enjoy the thought of you chewing Zubel out, you kind of like, you like this.
I have it. 1 sec. Okay. You like the subtlety to annoy her. At least properly. I mean, you would probably just shout at her, she'd get pissy for a few minutes, and that's it. I can torture her better than you, is what I'm trying to say. Your head made a cracking noise as you looked at Jax. He smirked. Come on, Slipper. Just say the word. Your glass mouth turned into a big, evil smile. You just want me as a scapegoat. But fine. I'll play your game. Ruin her. That was all Jax needed to hear. Yeah, you were kind of an enabler, sharing the same destructive streak as Jax. Just, you felt a little more subtle about it. He was chaotic evil. You were lawful evil. Maybe a little too vengeance-driven sometimes. After all, you didn't purposely ruin story-driven adventures, you just liked to reach an ending where everything burned. Putting you often on Jax's side, but not always. Pretending you didn't sign deal with the devil to screw with Zubel as much as possible for the next couple of hours you joined the others. Putting you often on Jax's side. Pretending you didn't just sign a deal with the devil to screw with Zubel as much as possible for the next couple hours, you joined the others. Palmdean was holding on, and Kinger was consoling Gangle. I'm sorry, guys. Ragatha was repeating that over and over. It was my fault. You clicked your glass tongue, giving her a plastic smile. You didn't know he'd do that with the suggestion. Your voice was sweet, but in reality, you really wanted to snap her neck. After Kane's reaction to the suggestion box adventures, giving any suggestions to his volatile AI seemed like just asking for trouble. Really? Yeah. Personally, I thought he'd put us into some kind of Indiana Jones thing. In response, Ragatha rubbed her right shoulder. I see. Honestly, I was thinking more like the movie Labyrinth. The one with the goblins? Yeah, pretty much. Time moved on, and your anger on Zubel subsided, to the point where you had completely forgotten it entirely. At least until you were sitting in your room, an oval-shaped little space filled with cushions and light projectors that beautifully reflected a rainbow through your translucent body. Lying there, feeling mentally a little drained. As just below your field of view a blue bar appeared. The vote bar? You haven't seen that in a couple of days. Curiously read the text. Put Jax in a maid outfit as punishment. Quickly you put one and one together, and you smiled, voting yes. Moments later, the door to your room was violently kicked open. Jax barged in. Did you seriously just vote for this too? He slapped his chest and you snorted. Jax, the purple bunny man, was now dressed in an adorable little maid dress. Black with white accents and highlights. Stereotypical, but what was the cherry on top was the heart-shaped window on his chest, revealing his purple digital skin. What? It suits you, it always had. Amused, you leaned back. I can't believe it, he shouted, slamming his head against the wall. Hey, better than being a vegan. You stopped moving. He stopped moving, his head slowly turning to face you. I will kill you. You can't. I will try to kill you. You flashed him a look. What even happened, Jax? Pouting, he sat down on one of the cushions of your room and looked almost parts chest shut. You blinked. You wouldn't have thought of doing that to save your life. It definitely was a good idea to send Jax to take your frustration out.
Oh.
And as punishment, she went to Kane, who put it up to a vote. His eyes narrowed.
And you voted for this too.
You shrugged. If I hadn't voted for it, she would have suspected something. Jax crossed his arms. I guess I see a point. You leaned back on the cushion, your glass frame catching the rainbow light like a cracked chandelier. Every movement you made was careful and deliberate, words chosen with the same precision. If you exploded too hard, you'd shatter. You already did that multiple times. It wasn't nice shattering. So instead, you bent everything around you to your pace. Jax, on the other hand, was already pacing the room in that ridiculous maid outfit. Jax, meanwhile, had jumped up again. Was already pacing the room in that ridiculous maid outfit. The black frills bounced with every irradiated stomp. The little apron swaying like it mocked him. His ears twitched furiously. His gloves flexing like he was 2 seconds away from clawing at the walls. You tilted your head, letting a cool little smirk spread across your glass mouth.
Cute,
you said flatly. He whipped his head toward you, ears flopping.
Don't even start.
I'm starting nothing, you purred.
I'm finishing.
You're adorable, Jax. Practically polished. He growled, low and guttural, like he wanted to lunge but couldn't quite justify it yet. His hands fisted at his hip, pulling the frill skirt taut. God, that was so cute.
I'll burn this place to the ground before I let you get away with that.
Your smirk widened.
You say that every time, and yet here we are, you and Lace, me enjoying the view.
Jax opened his mouth, closed it, then groaned into his gloved palms.
You're unbearable.
And you're in a maid dress. You countered smoothly. Your voice was sweet, but it carried that sharp edge you wielded so well. So which one has the upper hand here, really? He froze, glaring daggers at you, but the blush creeping up under his fur gave him away. You leaned forward, glass fingers steeply like a mastermind. Every movement calculated, every syllable a push in just the right place.
You know,
you began slowly.
Chaos is fun, but it's better when it's planned, calculated, efficient, you know. Like me.
Your glass body gleamed with the rainbow lights as you leaned in closer.
And admit it, Jax.
You like it when someone matches you,
but doesn't break in the process.
That's not a pun, by the way. He sucked in a breath, caught between a growl and a laugh. You think you got me figured out, huh? You tilted your head, deliberately slow.
Not think.
No. For a moment the room went quiet except for the hum of the light projectors. Jax stared at you, chest rising a little too fast, ears twitching with nervous energy, but he couldn't mask. Then finally, the corner of his mouth twitched.
You're dangerous.
I like that. He muttered, and for once it wasn't an insult. You grinned.
Well, that's the point.
He barked out a short, sharp laugh, one hand dragging down his face.
God, you're such a pain.
But I'll give you this. Bullying me in this outfit? It's the first time someone's done it correctly. You leaned in closer, your glass body reflecting fragments of him back at himself. You sound almost impressed. Almost. When was the last time I was impressed with anyone? I think when I ran around guns blazing with Pomni. He chuckled back, but his voice cracked under the words. You chuckled low, enjoying how much power you had in this moment. Every inch of him was tense, but not pulling away, not resisting. But you knew he never would, not really. Say it. You teased softly. Say you like this. His ears flicked, his eyes darting away, but then, through gritted teeth and a red face, he muttered, Fine. Okay, I admit it. I think you're hot, okay? Even when you're making me miserable. You tilted your head, smugness radiating. Now was that so hard? Yeah. He growled back, but the fight in his tone was half-hearted. He was already leaning closer without realizing it, already breaking. Your glass hand reached out, deliberate and steady, pressing against his chest where the ridiculous heart-shaped cutout framed his purple skin. You felt the warmth of him, the steady thrum of nervous energy beneath it. Careful now, he whispered, leaning any closer, and I'll shatter. He smirked finally, the sharp grin that made him who he was. Then let me break something already. You didn't wait. Your lips met his in a kiss that was sharp, a little messy, and heated all at the same time. His teeth grazed, his hands grabbed, and for a moment it was utter chaos. But you didn't shatter, he was holding himself back. You pulled him in tighter, controlling the rhythm, guiding him, even as he tried to overwhelm you. It wasn't gentle, and it wasn't sweet either. It was two predators testing who had the sharper bite, and somehow you loved every second of it. Jax's hands gripped your arms, his claws grazing your glass surface without cracking it. Your own hands slip under his fur, tugging lightly, making him groan against your mouth. Every motion, every sound was fuel. You broke the kiss just enough to smirk against him. See? You like it when I'm in charge. He panted, eyes wild, lips parted. Shut up. And then he kissed you again, harder. You allowed it, for the moment, just long enough to give him the illusion of winning. Then you pulled back, slow, deliberate, watching him chase after you with barely restrained frustration. You laughed softly. Admit it. You've never met your match until now, did you? Jack's smirk was feral, ears twitching as he stared you down. You're insufferable. I hate that, I like that. Your grin widened. Well, then take it. And take he did. The two of you tangled together in the cushions, kissing hard enough to rattle the projectors, every second pushing closer and closer to the edge of something that could very well go too far. And then, with a sudden poof, the maid outfit vanished, and Jax blinked, expecting to be entirely unclothed for a moment. But still, his lips were on yours. But before pulling back in shock as his normal clothes reappeared, you froze, then burst off laughing, falling back against the cushions. Well, that was a short punishment. Wanna keep going?
Hey, you reached the end of the video. That makes you part of an exclusive club. Our secret password is Cheap Thrills. Put the secret message in your comment below to tell fellow members you watched the video until the very end. Lastly, before I say goodbye, I would normally shout out my channel members. However, due to losing monetization, I currently do not have access to both channel memberships as well as a list of previous channel members. Nevertheless, I'm eternally grateful to the channel members I used to have, and in the case memberships get reinstated, I hope I'll see you again. Thank you for watching.